the strongest man wins. But in Tartaria, it's basically the man who gives the
Here
most
we go, here we
receives the
go,
most
here we go.
versus the man who's stronger than
Yeah,
you.
Jamaican.
That's what separates the pilgrims from the Vikings. And again, white people didn't come over on the Mayflower. White people didn't come over, they've been here. The Vikings were here. Go do your history. Go do your history. And the Vikings weren't European. And look at this craftsmanship. I want to show you some of this. This was tools that Vikings used. Pilgrims wouldn't use stuff like this. People, this is why we got vice grips and scissors and tweezers today. That comes from Tartaria. Pilgrims didn't invent that. Why would I build a wood house if I got tools like this? This is Viking tools. And this is like low quality. So it just gives you an idea. We talking advanced people. Like, you got these same tools in your toolbox today. Ain't that really changed? We get it from the Vikings, from the Tartarians. But again, the Pilgrims didn't have tools like this.
Stop. Stop.
You're talking about metallurgy work that is very high quality. When you're etching serpents in a sword, and hundreds of years later, we can still see that serpent etched in that sword. Because stuff we doing ain't lasting that long. Time will scratch that off and make it less defined. You're picking up swords up out the ground.
No.
You're wiping them off, and it's just like they were made yesterday. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, wait a minute. Is this shit aging? Like you said, everything made in the Victorian age and the Tartarian age, it was built to last. Because it wasn't built with a capitalistic agenda and a monetary, like, I don't want it to break quick so you can buy another one. Because if it breaks quick, remember what I just told you, in Tartaria, your status
What was
linked to
that?
your
What
work.
happened?
If your work was cheap and inferior, everybody knew you and treated you based upon your work contribution. So you couldn't build shit to break. You had to build it to the best of your knowledge, and shit lasted forever. Because people back then knew my status is dictated by the work of my hands. I'm going to put my all into my work. That's what people were thinking. Now people think, I don't want to put my all into my work. I want to do just enough and charge them as much as I can for a little bit. That's capitalism. Why would I give you my all when I'm trying to have a profit? Profiting means give you as little as I can to get as much from you as I can. So even if I'm a painter, right, and I may be a very good painter, I'm not going to paint my best work if you don't reflect that, because I'm a capitalist too. If you let me scribble anything on the paper, I'm not going to do my best. I'm going to do just enough to get them millions, man. But you couldn't do that in Tartaria. You had to do your best on every painting, because we didn't pay with money. The work you did was put in profit for the slave as an artist. It had to be good, because you were known by your work. Your
Let's
name
do
was
this.
status to
Let's
it.
do this.
And your status was in your reps, in your contribution. So everything you did it with a sense of pride. Age during the Viking time, it lasts longer than ours. Because we don't build with pride. We build just as a capitalist, man.
Good. Haven't you had enough yet?
When I can have you keep coming to me.
No.
No one's gonna do their best in a world of capitalism. We're gonna do what's the littlest possible for the biggest profit. Why? We're capital. We're trying to capitalize. Why the fuck would I do my best? That's gonna hurt my bottom line in a capitalistic system. If I made you the best hamburger that I can make, your patty would be this thick, nigga. And I would put so many toppings and cheese, I wouldn't shortcut you. I would make your hamburger the way I make my shit at home. I wouldn't shorthand you, because I'm giving you the best hamburger. But if I'm running a business with capitalism and I gotta make money, I'm not really trying to give you the best hamburger. I'm trying to give you the cheapest one that tastes halfway decent. And your patty may be that thin. Now, if I make me a burger, I'm gonna make a thick patty.
Wow.
Because I ain't thinking capitalistic. I'm thinking, nigga, I'm trying to please myself. What if every chef made your burger like that? It don't happen unless you go to a rich restaurant. Other than that, it's capitalistic. Everything is built to break. It's built for low quality. If a company say I don't gotta use real milk, I can use fake milk and get more money, they don't care. If you don't listen, the people that pay for this is the consumer. We have a capitalism is us telling the world, do things the way we do it because we got all the answers, even though we got an inflation problem. Everybody we saying to do what we doing, they don't got inflation. They got beautiful systems where they meditate, they got Buddhas, they talking about the chakras, they focus on spiritual ascension. And we trying to go to war with them because they're not part of the world banking system. They don't believe in the real believing image Jesus and the white man. And we forcing this on everybody. We doing it to Iran right now. You notice everybody we go to war with ain't under our banking system, ain't got their shit back with the American dollar. Because that banking system goes along with your spiritual system. Before we integrate with these pilgrims on a government, political,
What?
we integrate with them by accepting their
Oh.
graven image. Everything on the physical happened on the spiritual first. When the Christian ambassadors and the Catholic Church and the Red Cross go to these tribes, they are selling them Jesus under the guise of we giving them we giving them free treatment, water, and resources. But guess what else you giving?
I got the
A
scripts.
Bible.
That don't happen. That does not happen.
This is the church's ambassador mission. And those
I can't see
people
this person
will
going.
accept your God
I don't think they're
What
even.
even up?
before they even accept your way
I
of
don't even
doing
think they're gonna
business
make
and
it
money
to.
and your economic system. The first
I
thing
think I'm gonna
we
make
give
it to the
people
secret.
is our
Alright,
God.
the furthest they
Then
will
we
get.
give them
Yeah.
our currency
is to maybe a library, but I don't even think they're gonna make it there.
At the bottom of it. Because the only way we can gain access to these people's land and resources is by so when we going over there giving away stuff for free, it ain't for adults, right? A parent don't give you access to their people because you're giving them free stuff. But when they do that, they don't realize you're brainwashing the children. Because when we helping these tribes out, the older folks don't become Christians. But imagine being in a tribe and you a little bitty baby and you see food falling out the sky. You see water falling out the sky. And it got a book on it with a white dude saying, turn you to me and I can make life better. Like when Christians go out and do outreach work and they give the community clothes and food, but they also telling them, look, you struggling because you ain't going to God. And that's what's going on. Like we telling these folks, look, the reason you need me to give you food and water is because your God ain't stronger than mine. Now, the elders may not follow that, but the children is looking. And it's clicking to them that, damn, these foreign gods is making it rain food and water. My grandma been bowing to and coming to their
A lot of people.
This what's going on in the mind of a young tribal child. So what happens after a couple of generations, that tribe converts to Christianity. To give you access to heaven, and that's the trick of the devil. That's the years of the pilgrims going around the world doing what I just told you to be. When they go to your land, everyone's land got the same service, the serpent on the tree. But when everywhere we go, we all got the same service, which is right here. So when they take over your land, they say that this is an ugly monster. They turn this into what they call to the pilgrims the devil's But that's like I'm telling you, like when these pilgrims,
Wow.
all of these tribes got the same symbol because they are the Tartarians. You know, when you look at the Dogon tribe, they got this same symbol. You see it? But it ain't they symbol. They turned this into the cross with Jesus on it and all that. Or the swastika to Germans or whatever. See what I'm saying? But it's this universal symbol that was connected all of these lands. Everyone had it. Because we was all Tartarians. Right? It ain't just the Dogon. But what happens is, when they come to the land, they turn it into your new
Man,
religion.
and God,
And that's how new religions are
God,
formed.
oh,
Reinterpretations of those
Oh.
tribal people's spiritual symbolic system. You see what I'm saying? So when the pilgrims come in and reinterpret this symbol, it becomes a devil's tribe. Right? You get what I'm saying? They turned this to the trident of the devil. They demonized this symbol. They turned it into this. You gotta think about something. And this is a fact, right? The devil's trident predate the devil himself. Why? The symbol that we got Santa, which is the word center. The reason this symbol existed on the earth before the devil is because the people that made this trident, they was talking about your soul resurrecting at the center of the cube. And I'm showing it to you. Let's
Yep.
Here is a Mayan cosmos. You see the devil trident in the middle of the earth? That's represent a soul rising up at the center, Santa, Satan, center. You see, this is the devil's trident, but where's the devil? There's no devil. This trident predate the devil. These people accompanied this with a devil and started demonizing it, turning it into spookism. That's why the trident is older than the devil. Before it was a dude holding the damn trident, the trident was literally a dude. Trying to teach you the Jesus concept without giving you a graven image to literally bow to. This was and the pilgrims turned this into a real concept from the devil trident and a real monster saying, and then we got a monster holding a damn stick. Institution that plagiarized all of the old sciences into dumbed down literal interpretations that create religious systems. And religious systems are basically the papacy going into someone's land and taking this universal symbol that connected everyone and demonizing it by inverting it and demonizing it by turning it into a real thing. This becomes a monster now that's out there. And they show you this. They say, raw, they hold their hands up. Right? And they hit you with their hands up. What are they showing? Raw, why do you gotta hold your hands up? Why you just can't leave your hands right here and say, rah? Why do you do this? You turn your body to a trident. You see this? This subconscious desecration. This is a spiritual war that we're in. And they doing everything to detach you from this old world frequency that will awaken your kundalini and reconnect you back to that world. Fear is a barrier. Fear is the barrier. Look here, way in Armenia, man. We got it in Armenia. It was just the whole world. The truth is that everywhere you went on the earth, everyone was in the same place. That's the papal God, the earthly authority.
Nothing in here with this ring.
Right? This whole world truth united everyone in the world. Look at all the different places in the world that were part of Tartaria. And this is just one collage. That's how other collages go. Let me show you. There are other ones. Let me show you real quick. This is just one collage. Kennedy. They turned this into a trial or like a sitcom show.
Guys, the controller, no. Yeah, the controller. Yeah, messed up and the battery's messed up, and because the battery's messed up, that's why he got. Otherwise, the last time my son got was like about 7 years ago. Or 5 years or something like that. So yeah, that's what's happened, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Attempt to get to 400. Damn it.
Mechanism is. It's an exciting type of astrolabe that's so advanced.
Alright.
Our astrolabes ain't fucking with you. Now think about that, right? That's one problem. Second problem is more intricate than the new one. You're telling me, Mr. I invented the car, that you can't even reduplicate an older version of it. That don't make no sense. If you made the new car and you said it's the only car, I shouldn't even be finding an older version. And if I do find an older version, it shouldn't be more intricate than the new one. That's stupid. That don't make no sense. Unless you stole the idea from this older version, reverse engineered it, and couldn't get it back to its old greatness that the original concept We can build pyramids today, but we can't reduplicate Giza. Why? Because the people that came up with the idea of pyramid building I go find an older original one. And if I do find an older Louis Vuitton, then your knockoff shit, it better not be better quality and better than yours. Cause that's gonna prove fraud. In any other situation, that will prove fraud. But in the case of science, technology, and history, we just overlook it and let them give us another lame excuse.
So everyone's gone already.
We don't know. It's such a big mystery, isn't it? Oh, wow.
Wow.
The
Already, you know.
Klingon part. And what they do to y'all, they make it fun to not know. And it becomes now a big mystery that no one wants So you telling me you know everything? This genius thinks he knows how the pyramid was built. No one knows that. That's one of the biggest mysteries of science. You see how they psychologically fuck y'all? And not knowing becomes the new trend. The mystery. And it becomes the intelligent. It becomes now, you're the intelligent guy. When you show up in a room and say, you do know that we don't know how the pyramids is built. Ooh, that's so deep. That's for him. Did you hear what he just said? Man, it's a mystery on how the pyramids is built. You can't figure it out.
Go on. Ancient people were smart, and they lied to us like the ancient people were dumb. Case over, case closed, go home. It's not a big mystery. Aw, man, you such a party pooper. Oh, we was having fun with the mystery. Isn't the truth boring? That's why when you show up with that boring ass truth, get him out of here and let's talk about ancient. Go on.
What
sure as some
happened?
advanced beings came to Earth from another planet and taught us how to build a pyramid. Because that makes more sense than just
I looked away.
human beings
I looked
getting
away for
smart
about
over
not
time.
long.
I was trying to turn up my volume and I pressed the power button.
The truth can't be that simple.
Look how close my power button is to my volume button.
Far off belief like ancient aliens and all that, right? Of course it does, right?
Not everybody just died, you know. I'm just tired of all that.
So, again, white people need to know this because what's going on in America is just like the natives. And when you start to think, well, where did the Vikings come from? Then guess what happens? This is where it gets interesting. The Vikings tell their own origin story through their cosmology. And guess what the Vikings say? They come from the North Star, Polaris. Guess what the North Star? They personified as their great mother because it's a portal, it's a womb. So people will turn it into a woman because it's a hole that gives birth to you. Like when your soul goes through Polaris, you're gonna be a baby leaving the vagina of your mama in a higher realm. But that white light is your mama's legs open in the hospital pushing you out again in a higher realm. The ancestors said all points in time are connected. And if you don't know what that means, I'll give you an example. Have you ever been dreaming? And I'll give you my own experience. I've been dreaming that I'm falling. And the moment I hit the ground, I wake up in my bed, but not just any kind of wake up. I remember clearly one of my siblings throwing a pillow at me to wake me up. I'm asleep on my back. Next thing you know, boom! A pillow hit me in my face and I wake up abruptly. So what's happening is in the dream, I hit the ground. But at the exact moment I hit the ground in the dream, the pillow hit me in this world, at the exact time. What does that mean? That means that actions that take place in these other realms are tied to actions that take place in this realm. All of these realities are tied together. In one world, you may be raising your hand to chop a tree down, and that same action in another world is you pledging allegiance at a football game. You raising your hand in both of these worlds, but it means something different. And that's proof that each of these realities are strung together by events in time. Because at the same time I hit the ground in one world, which is death, awakening happened in another world where a pillow hit me. So this thing is very intelligent, what we're in. We're in a simulation, and it's very intricate because details are tied together with other events. Meaning that something new, okay, when he hit the ground, make sure that the pillow hit him at the same time. This got to happen together so that these events can be tethered together seamlessly.
Good night, love, for one love.
And it's all a paradox because if you die in one world, you wake up in another one. So I'm hitting the ground and I'm dying, but nope, I'm waking up in this world with a pillow. It wasn't the ground,
4
it
a.m.
was a pillow I hit. And instead of me falling to the ground, the pillow is actually falling toward me. So everything is inverted and flipped around because it's a paradox.
6:48 a.m.
In one world, I'm dying. And I'm falling toward the thing that's going to kill me. But in the other world, I'm living, I'm waking up. And the thing that's waking me up is actually coming toward me. So I'm using my dream to show you how these different realities are inverted. How the actions mean something different, but it's still the same action.
Where's your
You
tablet?
get what I'm saying? It's the law of polarity inversion,
Where's your
the
tablet?
paradoxical nature of reality, extreme theory at its finest. Just when you think of you hitting the ground and the pillow, there's so much data to unpack that I can do a whole stream just on that dream. But that's showing you how the ancestors saw reality. You see what I'm saying? They saw all events connected, even if they were totally opposite events. But I'm showing you how they saw that with my dream example. You know, when they were perceiving reality, I'm giving you, I'm tapped into how they was seeing this thing, you know what I'm saying?
He was wavy, you know. He's just
But
there.
like I said, the Statue of Liberty is literally Thor. It's Thor. It's the feminine form of Thor, which is what my aunt originally was. And I just want to move on. And I want to show you how, give you the history of how the pilgrim blamed his thievery on the
Yeah. You two, you might do it this time. You might do it. This might be the one.
They are gentle, loving, good people. These are the fucking devils from the pits of hell. And now I'm trying to tell you, all people with white skin ain't the same. That's the same for black people too. There are some black people who are pilgrims and barbarians, or what we call non-player characters. If you think you're God, you're funny. You didn't know that gods and devils come in all shades and skin tones? Somebody told you. And that made you very cool. They took that. You should have known how simple that sound that it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You in a critical moment might be Asian, might be white. The next person that break in your house. They come with white skin, Negro. Quit letting these folks divide and conquer y'all.
Yeah. The postal
We
gang.
knew this simple stuff.
Postal gang strong. Strong.
So again, let me tell you what the slave master did. The slave master said, look, when they took over, they said, look, now that we running shit, because when the slave master, when the pilgrim came here, what we call black and white skin colors were working together. But when they took over, they didn't want us working together united no more. So the new system
Alright, he's got the key.
was a class system.
Alright.
And they said, we're going to put the white humans against the black ones so they can hate each other and fight while we run everything. This is called field nigga tactic. Drop a one if you know this tactic. The slave master said, look, we're going to put some of these slaves in the field and give them the hard work. And we're going to put some of these slaves in the house under the air conditioning, give them the active work, let them walk, sit back and chill out. Put resentment among the slaves in the fact that the slave master
Wow.
But before that, we never even thought to rule over each other. This was silly. We never even know skin color, man. We weren't thinking about that.
Hey.
They corrupted
Hey,
us
hey,
with
hey.
the system. Because you gotta think this is generation after the reset. They done took over, they done squatted.
Well played.
Now they're raising baby Tartarians. Why are they teaching these new Tartarians? You wanna be a slave? I hate that word. That's what they're doing. I'm a young slave now. And the system is making white people in charge. And guess what? White people over time become what we call the fiat government. So if you look at America today, you see our slaves now.
Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, that's good.
They on the front porch. Niggas, them front yard and porch niggas. See, cause look, you got the field nigga, you got the field
Boy left,
nigga,
I think.
then you got the front yard niggas.
Or did he get
Then
got? I
you
don't.
got the front porch niggas. Then you got the house niggas. Black folks ain't made it into the house yet.
Yeah.
We thought we made it into the house with Barack Obama, but he ain't black. Black people can't be house niggas. They gave you the wrong idea of the house.
You might have to go do something. In fact, you might have died. Well, we continue. We continue. Oh. Come on. Let's do this. Won't be easy. Tell you that. I want to see 5 people in the library. Or at least 3. people. Okay, more that. No. Bang. You can try this. You can typical damage. You can try this. Swim. What time we start this challenge? Wow, 1 AM. Okay, well, That's a really good attempt. This isn't, it's not gonna come easy. It's not gonna come easy.
If you throwing up my hood, you want to love that. You want to love that. No skin color shit. You can be black just like me, but if you ain't from my hood and you don't wear the same color bandana we wear, you ain't damn one of us to watch for. I'm not a gang member. I'm teaching you something. He said, thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here, bro. Shout out to Holy Viking. What a very fitting name for today's topic. Listen, man. Shout out to all of... It's going to turn a lot of y'all out. Like Holy Viking, let me give a shout out to my Gnostics. Right? Let me give a shout out to my Druids, and let me give a shout out to my wicked people, because there's a lot of different groups that follow my work, and these are all Gnostics. They're the same. These are awakened systems. People don't realize Vikings, Wiccan, Druids, right? This is Tartarian stuff when we say, where are indigenous white people? These who white people aren't pilgrims, man. White people aren't pilgrims. I'm sorry. And white people don't even know who they are. If you're white right now, and I'm teaching you something about your origin, drop a 1. Watch this. Watch this. You finna see. People think white folks run the world and white folks hide in white folks bowing down to a graven image called Jesus, just like you. And they don't know who they are either. The people we need to aim the Zionists. And they got us fighting each other now because guess what's being revealed? We all been sold out to Zionists. Why? Because look, all the white man in America is saying, fuck Trump because he sold us out to Israel. Black folks been trying to tell you white folks, right? Because think about this. We was trying to tell white folks, Trump don't care about y'all. Trump care about him and the Jews. Black folks was telling white folks that. But who are white folks? The white folks we're talking to today, those are the children of Vikings. And they was indoctrinated just like that. So all of the white folks today, they think they're better than us, even though they at the bottom. And it's all the black people, because we gotta teach these white folks, man, y'all motherfuckers don't run nothing. The people who really run it, just giving y'all freedom, so y'all can be a buffer race for black people. Because if black and white people work together, it's over for Israel. Because our land, so they came.
Yeah.
It was full of Vikings and Olmecs. Them the same two races that run America now.
Come on, you can do it. You can both do it. You can both do it.
R&B, neo soul, and country music. It's two are the dominant music groups in America. If you come over here with white skin, you get into country. If you come with white skin, you cosplay with hip hop. Everything that's happening to black people is literally happening to white people. And acting hip-hop. And then you got white dudes coming over here acting like Vikings. You ain't no Viking. You a pilgrim. But the pilgrim will come over here and put cowboy boots on, listen to country. Not that we don't know who you are, man. You're a different mother. You might not even be human, nigga. And we put it on Billy. Billy got a soul. Billy just sold his soul. Black people and white people are the same person. We sold out to these people. We have a soul. Anybody who want to buy a soul, don't Come on now. I'm dropping shoes today, man. Support the show, bro. Shout out to everybody in the building. Come on now. Tells us, save your soul. So the devil is going to tempt you and try to lead you to hell. The Bible don't say Jesus going to save you from the devil. The Bible tells you to save yourself. Yes, and the pilgrims do. They took ancient stuff and reinterpreted it. But they
He's got some,
so you can still see
he got some tablets.
behind the new
Oh, okay.
So think about why the Bible told you to save yourself. It's like your parents telling you to save your Because our ancestors, there are people on this earth without a soul. What is your soul?
To the African American. Whoa, 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 whoa.
If every human were to have a soul, we would all look different, but we would all
Uh-huh.
act the same like a robot. The same tone of voice, all robots talk the same, wouldn't be what you call individuality or uniqueness. Your soul and your life, your unique essence. Shout out to Mr. 85. Put my name on there. When you quote somebody, put the little dash, put Gross, put Sanchez the sinker. Share it with others. Because check this out. You can spend your soul with your salad like you spend your life.
I've got all of that.
Used it for another entity to promote alcohol, clothing brands. When, if you like a person's personality and your influence, they can promote your life. They can promote world peace like what Michael Jackson was doing. See, everyone liked Michael Jackson. He's influential. But when you're not an influence, you can promote world peace. You can promote your influence and your personal frequency and use it to promote things that really what you're supposed to
We
be.
both made it to the library. All right. Wow. Wow. I missed it. That's how quick it was. What? Yeah. shows the settings are difficult, man. Oh no. No. Twice like that. Twice. One after the other. Yeah. Nice. Come on.
But we won't do it for a group of humans. If we saw a plant like that now, we would say, well, where did it come from? People would entertain that. But what I'm saying, I don't think they're aliens. I believe there are isolated groups of humanoids living in the inner earth. I think that the interior of the earth under the ground is just as big as the surface space. Yes. I think there may be hollow openings on the ground the size of continents under the ground. I believe that when we go under the ground, the physics gets way more different than we've been taught. And that there may be more real estate beneath the earth than above. That's been there since they said it, for example, Roswell was made in back in the day. A lot of these underground bases were made back in the day. And I'm like, bro, we wasn't at that level of technology yet. Our sewage system was built in the 1900s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And they already need to be rebuilt now. That ain't even 100 years.
Good, carry on.
We gotta redo the whole infrastructure. That's primitive. That's horrible. Now check this out.
Nice. I think so. Okay, yeah, nice one.
The time Mexican people would have been carving these
Oh,
tunnels, and they go from
yeah.
the bottom of southern Mexico all the way up to Canada. The Mexican tunnels go all the way into Texas, all the way up to California. Guess what? The underground world on the West Coast is crazy. That's why so many earthquakes on the West Coast. Because it's a lot of power places underground, like Area 51. Like when you go to the Grand Canyon, the original ground level was at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. When you on top of the Grand Canyon looking down into the canyon, you're not standing on the ground. The ground is at the bottom of the canyon. So what is this shelf we standing on? See, because when you start getting on the West Coast, there's a whole shelf. If you live on the East Coast and you travel from east to west, your ears start popping in Texas and Oklahoma. You're gradually raising in elevation. You ain't traveling flat. But the incline is so small, you can't tell that you're lifting thousands of miles into the air. By the time you in Utah, guess what? You're 2,000 miles above sea level, meaning you ain't on the ground, you're up in the mountain. These big cities on the top of big messes. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, Texas, go.
Now listen, when you go into the Western architecture, and I'm going to show y'all some images now, when you dig up under these buildings, you find that there are 10 doors hidden. How many of y'all been researching this? They call it the mud flood theory. And when you're at the cutting edge of all of the theories and science and the architecture,
All right.
what's popular. You are doing the due diligence research and shit that ain't popular yet. So when you say it and it ain't became popular to everyone yet, because they ain't gonna repeat it till the experts say it. But we are like, think about this right now. I'll give you an example. The experts are already saying
Go
that we are in a simulation.
Let's get to that lift. Get to that lift.
You being ahead of everybody is going to make you be looked at like you don't know what you're talking about when you're dealing with the cutting edge science and they need updates to it.
Here we go. Well played. Good weight. Nice.
Science is always changing and updating. And if you really science, you keep up with the updates. And get them to disagree with it, then I go to Berkeley, Harvard, and the scientific website. And they feel dumb. You think you're dealing with science. Science is now having to admit that we was right the whole time about the simulation. They just next thing they're telling you Earth flat. Because right now, science is trying to fit the simulation theory to the heliocentric model, and it ain't gonna work. The moment they gotta admit we in a simulation because it's the only viable explanation, it obliterates that whole model and proves flat Earth. Flat earthers are just people who are ahead of their time. Took over. They believed in a globe. Who taught you about a globe? Freemason. Newton was a pilgrim. Copernicus, a pilgrim. Let me show you. I ain't gonna lie on him. I ain't gonna lie. Everyone that taught you about the globe.
Hey, E5.
Reality was given to you by Freemasons. Let me show you. Can't make this shit up. Look. Why does Newton look like the goddamn founding father of America? He's dressed like George Washington with a wig on. Look at him. Everyone knows what the founding fathers dressed like. They wore wigs. And they wore tights. And they wore this Jewish garb that we see.
Come on, almost there, man. Almost there.
These are pilgrims, man.
Come on.
How come pilgrims giving you your whole reality? Everything you think about yourself and your world comes from your slave
Defeated. Goodness, almost there.
people we gave the knowledge of resurrection to is now teaching your ass resurrection. You see what the pilgrims doing? The pilgrims came to our land. We taught them everything, and then they took over, corrupted the knowledge, and they reteach it and put it in their corrupted form. When the pilgrims came to our land,
Nice.
I want you to get the whole download, man. I researched this, and I said when you research it,
Okay.
and you dot your I's and cross your T's, I don't want to really organize it into like
For a big moment. God, where is it? Yeah. No. Wow. Whoa. This is something else. Oh, God, he's there, man. Just go through this ticket to that lift. What? No. Come on. Please, you have to record it. No. The lift is Well, you gotta get to the lift. You have to get to the lift. Oh yeah. Wow. That was so close. Come on, man. Damn. This is not gonna be easy, man. You did well though, you did very well, man. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Damn. Difficulty levels are crazy. Off the hook. But now That was so close. Well played, man. Obviously, it's completed. Wow. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Now it's a huge ship, but they didn't make that many.
That last attempt was something else. Great gameplay.
Inside the interior of the ship, and just think, traffic problems.
One of the best. Only like 8 restrooms hanging off the side. Every time you gotta go, it's gonna be people in front of you in a long line. So guess what was happening? People were just shitting and pissing where it was. And guess what they said about black slaves? That we were so overcrowded on the slave ships that we were pissing and shitting on each other. And they said that we got off the ship with diseases. Now think about this, right? How you telling me that the black slaves got diseases? Oneness.
But yet the natives said that the white pilgrims were the ones giving them the diseases. They didn't say some slaves or rednecks or gave them the diseases. They said a white man pirate on the ship gave them that disease. So this drawing is a lie because I can back up what the natives said with visual photos that, listen, when this ship pull up to your country, it's a nightmare because it's going to be disease going on your land. Nobody wanted that ship pull up to your country. So guess what? Try to come to America on banana boats and it's here immigrants and stuff. They really like to get here. This what these people did. Shout out to Sucker Free. He said, thank you, brother. Let's go. I got you. Check this out, y'all. This is a big banana boat. A big desperation ship. The people on this ship know that they might not make it. They may die. Because check it out. It ain't enough food. It ain't enough water. It's like a death mission. It ain't enough adequate restaurants. If you survive this mission, goddamn it, you deserve to be here. You damn near one of them, right? But check this out. This was the first illegal immigrant project. People who run this country right now, and they talking about getting the illegal immigrants out, they were the first fucking illegal immigrants, man. And not only illegal immigrants, when this ship put into your land, it was flying around. Think about how smelly this thing was. Now, this thing, people been damn near practicing cannibalism on here. It ain't a lot of food. People robbing, mugging each other. Women get violated against their will. This was horrible shit to be on. But folks was desperate. Right? People get thrown overboard. It's basically a pirate ship, meaning it's lawless. Ain't no law going on. It's just a bunch of vagabonds. And this is like a lynch mob. It's a huge mob of just lawless people. They don't have no system of order. You know, and this shows right here that they don't have no organization. Look at this ship. Just look looking at this is a safety hazard, let alone being on it. Me looking at it right now makes me put me in Look at this, man. They overcrowded these things. And once you set off in that seat, that's it, ain't no turning back. Now watch this. When these people get to the land that they try to tether off of and leech off of, every new land they go to, they reinvent themselves. If you go to but they didn't remove it from the White House. You know why? Because they're going to be able to get the rules in the courtroom. If you hold that Bible to in that courtroom,
Sorry.
true God, which is within you. And what that is if you're a soldier in the military, your spirit is telling you, I'm wrong for killing these people because you don't feel right. That's why these veterans got to get PTSD medicine, all that killing they doing for these damn folks that don't carry them down. It drive them crazy. Everybody they kill, they see them faces every night in their dream. You can't just go and kill strangers and think you gonna sleep good at night. If you do, you ain't got a soul. The fact that these white boys come back like a lot of them grieving, showing guilt in their soul know you wrong, but you know why you do it? Because you say this is for my country. But when you say that, you're saying this is basically for my sergeant, my authority, my earthly masters. Because you ain't doing that for me. When I was in the military, we wasn't killing for y'all. We was killing for the rich people in charge. What we do in the military varies and trickle down to the average American citizen. It's hard to justify being in the military. Other than you getting out the hood, that's your only way you can say, well, I'm proud of you. And it's still the same for me today. I got loved ones in the military, and I'm proud of them for joining. You know what? To me, it's better than what's going on in my skin. If you know where I'm from, bro, go look up Beltsman, Alabama. That's all you gotta do. Do your research on it. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, Google. Now look. Unfortunate, but the military, like y'all said, a lesser evil.
Yeah.
Because he can be in the military and put food and kill out of people. He can be a mailman. Who is the people in power? Here they go.
He's staying under the stairs, you know. He's just staying there. Why he's moving now, no he's not. No, he's playing now, he's doing something. No, he's still there. Let's join him, make him come out. He's still there. He's not doing nothing. Trying to make you do everything. That's what I think. You see him? Guide him now, yeah, what's going on? He's putting the code in. No, I think I don't know. Right. Whoa.
That's how they move when you think about it. Same people run our country. They use that same mentality to turn us on the voice of truth. Like, let's say a person rises up in America, grassroots, and they really speaking the truth. These people that
Why?
when these people come to your country, the first thing that they want to take control over is media. I ain't making this up. These people with nothing. And guess what they build in your country? Something called a media industry. I ain't making this up. Look, go around the whole world with a media industry. Guess who you will find running? These people. And it's nothing wrong with these people. They come in different creeds and styles of forms in different lands. But they got to control the narrative in every land to promote Zionism and the papacy agenda of the literal interpretation and the graven images and the Abrahamic faiths for world religions. To keep expanding what they call the Western world, which is not really a geographic location, it's a mindset, or the left brain, the barbaric mind. That's what the Western world is, it's the left brain. So look, they show up in your land with nothing. And the only thing that they do is set up media industry. Like if you think about what I'm telling you, we didn't have a media industry until they showed up. Like, media is something that they literally is unique. And the reason for that, the printing press, they want to be the ones to be able to tell the story, to control the narrative, right? Rewrite everything. That's why the first thing these people do when they land in your country is publish newspapers. They start opening magazine companies. They open up, book companies and all. They start getting into pressing and like spreading their agenda through media. Because the warfare starts spiritual. It ain't even for the adults. Once these folks print out so much propaganda and flood your damn land with all they filth and propaganda, it's inescapable. You see it everywhere you look. There goes Jesus. There goes the Bible. There goes Scripture. Guess what? If you're born into that world, it's like the enemy. Obey. Shot, consume. Everywhere you look. That billboard equivalent to God so loved the world. Oh, there goes Jesus statue. They're enforcing the literal interpretation. They're enforcing Zionism and the idea of you literally bowing to the graven image.
Alright then.
Everywhere you look, it's embedded in everything. And it look normal to us. But once your eyes get open, you see that we're surrounded by their propaganda everywhere. On your cereal box. You can't escape it. It's on your toothpaste. Nigga, on everything. And they did that on purpose. Because the children are normalized to be
What number door was that?
They're posing as a religious order. See, instead of them saying, we're rewriting, they're saying, no, we're giving you the Bible because we love you and we want you to go to heaven.
got your president agreeing with them. So you have your, for example, anybody in office got to become a Zionist because once you get this high up in power and become a house nigga to where you're in the house, the White House, guess what? You got to do what the master think about this. The script is this. Once you in the master's house, you become like really a puppet on the stage. Because the master can't speak directly to the slave. He do it through his house niggas. Let me show you how the master works, right? So, when you're a house nigga, you just a drone for the master. Because the master may say, tell the slave to do X, Y, Z. And then the house nigga go out there and say, hey, everybody do X, Y, Z. He don't go out there and say, hey y'all, master said do this. Because if they don't like whatever the activity is, guess where their anger is gonna be directed? To master. So master is saying, no, tell them it's cause you wanna do it, house nigga, you in charge. Master ain't got nothing to do with this. In fact, tell them master don't even live in this house no more. And basically, that's your president. He walking around the house. He live up in there. He got a bed up in there. He moving his family in there. But he don't own that damn house. He's posing as the owner. And the real owners of the White House, their will is being carried out through the president. So it's a power to where everyone gonna get mad at the house niggas because the order coming from him. But it ain't his commandment. He's just filtering down the commandment.
Go, go, go. Just made it.
Again, they have replaced the puppet, but not the hand. The hand controls the puppet. So, Trump is a house that anybody in charge, like, and that's the person to misdirect our energy. Y'all get the point. White people were Vikings, and they had the same that come from Egypt, which is free energy and all that. So I'm gonna sum up this thing. We got to open up the call line. Let me open up the Zoom call right now. Let's do it. Let me get my Zoom I'm gonna drop the link. Come on up. While people come on, I'm just summing everything up. White people are children, y'all. They're not.
Are you right? Yeah. It's alright.
military show.